Well, hello, friends. This is the weekly wrap up with Amy. That's me. I'm Amy Stone, creator of The Art of Imperfect Adulting. And this is where I'm going to share what's happening in my world. Take a second to celebrate feedback and what's going on with listeners in the audience, and give you the inside scoop on this week's conversations, plus a peek behind the scenes of what's happening behind the show, happening with the show. So, a little bit of backstory. The show has crossed 4,000 audio downloads and 49,000 views on YouTube. That's kind of nutty, but a lot of fun, that statistic. Obviously, there's a big difference between an audio download and a view on YouTube because the numbers are just so much higher. A good chunk of those views, it looks like, are admittedly coming from people who are volunteering to help me improve my YouTube channel. Thanks for that. I don't think that these are actually real people. I tend to ignore them. This week, one of these people even got mad. They sent me an email that says, "I can see that you're reading my emails. Please reply." Thanks for that. Also, no thank you. All right, so let's talk about the episodes that came out this week. Super fun. Three episodes a week in August. Chandra Kidd, story of Peace Corps and how that impacted her life as an adult. Truly, truly, Chandra is a person who is a boots on the ground person who is doing amazing work in her community when it comes to adult education. And learning about the connection and path through the Peace Corps was super fun for me. I think you'll love that story. I talked to Michelle Winsell O'Leary, a name that frustrates my typographic skills because sometimes it has the little apostrophe in her name, and other times I have to add it. And there was a typo in her quote that went public. These things happen. All right. So Michelle's living her best life in a boat on a lake, totally loving what she's doing now. What we talk about in our conversation is what life used to be like for her, how she knew she needed change, and how she made that change for herself. Delightful conversation. Love it. All right. And then, third interview that dropped this week is Terry Tucker. All right. So I don't actually interview tons of men on this show. Definitely some, that's the way it works out. So Terry's story is that he was a SWAT negotiator. That was his training, his profession. That's just the backstory. We don't actually talk very much about that, although you don't get to talk to people who do that as a job every single day. Terry has been living with cancer for a very long time, and that was not his original prognosis. So he shares with me and with you how he developed his mindset that lets him work through this and make it. And to be honest, this is an interview that stuck with me. It's something that I remember, and the thing that from the conversation that sticks out the most for me in my mind is that as a result of the disease and the treatments and all of these things, he has experienced some amputation. He's had to have a limb amputated, and the amputation has had the result of restricting him in his access to his very own home for several years. And I don't know why that part of the story stuck with me, but it did. It's definitely a story that is worth listening to. And all of the things. So those are the episodes that dropped this week. There's three more episodes coming up next week. I hope that you will tune in and enjoy them. Thank you so much for spending this time with me on the weekly wrap up. I only post this wrap up on YouTube, at least for now. And I'll be back in a day or two with fresh interviews and stories in this very spot. Now, you're a smart person and you know how this works. If you subscribe and connect with me here on this channel on YouTube, then the platform will inform you when there's new stuff. But if you want the inside scoop direct from me on the other things that are going on, what I'm working on, where I'll be, things I'm doing, new stuff, how to work with me. In order to get that, you really need to subscribe directly to the Art of Imperfect Adulting email list. The truth is, I don't actually do very much timely, deadline heavy stuff on social media because it's here forever and you might watch it months from now. So, email is where the good stuff happens for that. That's it. That's a wrap. Over and out. Until we meet again, this is Amy Stone signing off.